Hi, everybody. Welcome to this week's energy forecast video. My name is Stephanie. Welcome. If this is your first time tuning in, I hope you enjoy this week's forecast. Each week, I tune into the Akashic Records to bring you 3 keywords that will guide us through the week, as well as some oracle card and crystal guidance. So as I always forget at the end, and someone reminded me last week, if you do find the guidance helpful, if you do enjoy the videos, please consider hitting the thumbs up to tell me you like it. Leave a comment. Share the video each week, share the channel each week, and also consider subscribing if you are not already subscribed. I do private readings if you would like to dive a little deeper into personal issues. I love to do that, and I will leave a link to my website below so you can contact me. That said, we are looking at the energy of the week of June 5th through June 11th. 2022, and we will start with the 3 keywords that came out while I was working in the Akashic Records this week. Still kind of a building energy from what I'm feeling on the energy of last week. So I got resources, alignment, and inspired action. And when I first was working in the records, I got action, and I kept, feeling like there was something more to that message. And finally, I got that it is inspired action. So it's not just like action for the sake of taking action, or action for the sake of feeling like we need to work on something, like we haven't been busy enough. We had some sort of mental energy come in last week. So a reinvigorating kind of energy. So this is about inspired action. It's about, we have narrowed down our choices to that which we know, or those that we know we want to work on. And we are taking inspired action. We are taking narrow action. We are taking productive action toward those goals and things that we're wanting to work on. So let's start with resources. When I asked about that keyword, I got, it's the connections. And I think this has come up a few times recently, maybe a variation on this keyword, maybe not exactly resources, but it's about the connections we're making and have made recently. It's about the helpful people that I am always going on about. It's about resources in all forms. So it can be money, it can be, goods, it can be something, anything that is placed in our path that is helpful to us is going to be a resource this week. So watch for those, recognize those, give thanks and gratitude when something comes into your path, whether it's big or small. Like, am I hungry and somebody brought me lunch? Or did I forget my lunch and somebody gave me something? Or did somebody buy me a coffee? Like, whatever it is that you could consider a resource that is helpful to you, be mindful of those, recognize those, and give thanks for those, because that's how we keep that kind of snowball going and welcome more of those things into our lives, is when we recognize them. So alignment, when I asked about that keyword, is about just a knowingness that we are on the correct path. So it's not a striving for alignment that many of us have worked on over the past couple of years. It's not, how do I get in alignment? How do I raise my vibration? Am I doing something wrong? It's not that energy. We are out of that energy, is the message I keep getting week after week. This is alignment. This is true alignment. This is, we will know when we are not in alignment with what we are supposed to be doing, because it won't feel right. And sometimes it's okay to engage in it anyway, as long as we recognize that what we're doing is not in alignment. There's no punishment for this. We're not racking up karma points that we're going to have to do again next time. This is just about recognizing, okay, I need to do this. Something is prompting me in my human experience to do this. I know it doesn't feel right. I'm going to go ahead and do it anyway. And knowing that that's out of alignment with your true nature. And then being even more in alignment when we recognize that. So alignment is this true knowingness that we are connected to our soul self, our higher self, this divine source that we all have a connection to, and saying, okay, I can recognize when I'm in it, and I can also recognize when I'm out of it, and both are okay. I'm just going to probably spend more time in it now that I recognize that feeling. So it's just that knowingness this week, and knowing when you're in alignment, feeling when you're in alignment. And then the inspired action was, the message I got with this one is, there are no spinning wheels. So if you felt like you were wasting time, I mean, this can go back years, but the real message, the really strong message I want to say that I was getting, is that it kind of connects back to January. So go back, maybe even watch the beginning of the year, the overarching 2022 video I did. I'll put a link to that. If I remember by the end of this, I'll put a link to that in the description box so you can easily click on it. Or I'll link it to the end of the video so you can click on it. But I'm getting a real message that there's a connection between January and June. So, the seeds we planted back in January, that's what's coming to fruition now and has been for the past month or so. So I kept getting the message, there's no spinning wheels. Like, we may still be waiting a little bit. They may not have burst forth, but they are there and they are blooming and they are growing. So there are no spinning wheels. There's no wasted time. There's no wasted energy. And the seeds we planted at the beginning of the year, there's kind of this connection to those. So if you set any intentions at the beginning of the year, if you made a vision box or a vision board, or, if you watched my video for January for the overarching energies for 2022, and you remember that it was the keyword for the year was unfurling, that's the energy that we're kind of sowing now. So interesting message that it's connecting the first to the second half of the year. So let us talk about our cards this week. We will use Healing Crystals deck number 2 for our crystal guidance. We will use the Matt Kahn Healing Mantra deck for our Sunday energy. And we will use the Kyle Gray Keepers of the Light Oracle for the remainder of the week. So let's talk about our crystal energy first. I did draw the cards, but as usual, I have not peeked at them yet. So we have iolite, which is kind of I feel like it's a underrated or underappreciated crystal. It's pretty common. You can find tumbled stones, not terribly expensive, but beautiful energy. Its 3 keywords are connection, awareness, and intuition. So connection goes right along with that resources keyword. It is about connections. And then awareness is kind of like inspired action and alignment and using our intuition to connect to all of those. Interestingly, our first keyword or one of our keywords is inspired action, but I kept getting just action until I dove a little deeper, and then I got inspired action. And iolite says, I trust in my own actions. So really a week of tuning into your own intuition and knowing that, again, there's no spinning wheels. There was no wasted time or energy. You are exactly where you're supposed to be. Go back to January, review the intentions you set. If you need to reset those, do so. If you just need to recognize that, oh my gosh, all of this stuff has happened exactly like I intended it to, then give a little nod of recognition to that so the energy keeps moving. So we have our iolite crystal energy this week. And then for Sunday, we have the inspiring others card. So I love this because, we always talk about helpful people and resources, but sometimes we are that resource. Sometimes we are the helpful person. And this says, I help others feel empowered by acknowledging their gifts. So, if you come across anybody who seems like we are never here to solve problems for others. Everybody's on their own path and they have the resources they need to solve their own issues, their own lessons and experiences that they've set up for themselves, even when it appears kind of painful to us from the outside. They are doing it right because they set it up for themselves. But, sometimes we are here to lend a helping hand. We are always here to observe and say, not I'm going to do that for you every time and shore you up, because that energy says, I don't trust that you're able to do this yourself. But this inspiring others is kind of leading through your own example or saying, hey, I'm here if you need something. I help others feel empowered. And that's the difference between doing something for someone because that energy says you can't do it yourself, and empowering them by acknowledging their gifts, which allows them to step into a better energy where they're better able to do things for themselves. So inspiring others, you may find that you are the resource for somebody this week, or you are that helpful person for someone this week. So that's our Sunday energy. Monday, we have the Shekinah, which is the sacred self card. Connected to kind of that higher self energy, soul self energy that I mentioned when I was talking about being in alignment, just being a knowingness. So this is very much that same energy. And it says, unleash your spirit, express your gifts, dance to the sacred rhythm of life. So the Shekinah being a very soul level kind of divine energy, and saying, okay, yeah, we are in this space of alignment. We are connected to the sacred self. We have this sort of direct line of communication that is always there to guide us when we are tuned into our intuition. So Tuesday, we have the Ashtar card, call to action. So we have action, and inspired action this week. So, as I said, I think last month, things are moving again. It says, take charge, lead by example, walk your talk. So what was this? Okay, this is very interesting. I help others feel empowered by acknowledging their gifts. And I think when I was talking about that, I said about leading by example, showing them, the possibilities, and instead of doing for someone, just being in the energy of empowerment, and leading by example. So the Ashtar card says, take charge, lead by example, walk your talk. And it also has that action keyword on there. So very much the energy of movement this week, and action and empowerment, and really, walking in your own truth, and being connected to the people that need to see that, just by virtue of being true to yourself. So then Wednesday, we have the Lady Venus, which is downloads and understanding. And if you're not familiar with the term downloads, it's like that the higher self energy, that divine communication that's available to us all. It is our intuition at the basis of it. So, and the information we download or receive through our intuition. So downloads and understanding, the Lady Venus card says, truth is being revealed, deep insights are coming from heaven and the astral realm. So this connecting back to that iolite energy, the energy of intuition, and the energy of just being open and in gratitude for the information you're receiving, because that information is another form of the resources that came up as a keyword this week. So then we have our Thursday card, which is our Isis card, which is magic manifesting. Your dreams, visions, and goals are becoming reality. Stay focused. So focus is also, very connected to inspired action and alignment. Focus is about knowing when we're in alignment and when we're out, and being able to move our focus back into that alignment, move our mindfulness, our attention back into alignment. So this is the message I get for this one, is like eyes on the prize. You know what you want to focus on, and just keep moving yourself back onto that path. Don't let yourself get distracted by other people's issues. Know that those are their issues for a reason, and know that, this is a week, especially this week. I mean, it is general guidance for our lives, but this week especially, stay in alignment, stay in your lane, eyes on the prize, focus on yourself, and by virtue of doing that, you're actually of more benefit to others. And then Friday, we have our Mary Magdalene card, which is Teacher Awakens. So this is again a card of leading by example. It says, you have something important to share, follow the inner call, don't let anything stop you. So again, that kind of eyes on the prize energy, stay on your path, don't let anything stop you, inspire to action, keep moving forward. Teacher Awakens. And, again, the message I'm getting is just stay in alignment for yourself. That is how you are of the most benefit to others, is by leading by example. And, this doesn't have to be some grand plan. This can be you're affecting the life of one other person just because you're leading by example, because you're staying true to yourself, because you are working on that inspired action. You don't have to start anything new. You don't have to come up with like, how can I do this week? This is about staying in the things you're already working on, or returning to that January energy and kind of reminding yourself of what you wanted to work on at the beginning of the year. Saturday, I always like to see what comes up on Saturdays, because it seems like it kind of rounds out the week. It's Lord Ganesh. I think this is my favorite card from this deck. I love its energy, and it is infinite abundance. So always a good card to get for finishing out the week. And it says, obstacles are being removed, spiritual support and connections are increasing. So we have connections, which is the resources energy again. So knowing that, by doing these things, and by being in the energy of thanks and the energy of recognition for the resources that come into your path, into your awareness, that allow you to take inspired action, by being in gratitude and giving thanks for those, you draw more in. It's like once that, gratitude snowball gets going, like attracts like, and you can't help but draw more resources in. You can't help but draw more helpful people in. You can't help but draw more material support in. So it's all there for you. It's just about taking inspired action when you are guided to do something, following those breadcrumbs that are put on your path by your soul self, by the divine, by your higher self, by spirit, however you want to look at it, tuning into your intuition and following those breadcrumbs. So that's our energy for this week. Very much lead by example, stay true to yourself, stay in that knowingness, that state of alignment, take inspired action when you are guided to by trusting your own intuition, and you end on, my path is clear. I am unlimited. I have unlimited resources and opportunities. That's how we wind up the week. So as usual, I love this reading. I love the energy we're moving into. Leave me a comment. Let me know if you've been working on anything, if you have any questions, or just want to let me know how you're experiencing the energy right now. I love to read your comments, and I will see you all next week.